then Wales saying they've released Nicky Smith back to for treatment. What's the news on his injury?
Yeah, he's probably got a relatively long-term injury. The details will suss out over the next couple of days, but he'll be probably missing for a reasonable amount of time for us.
A few months, presumably, with that sort of injury?
Yeah, it's highly likely he'll miss a fair few months of the season for us, but it's something he's a young man, he'll recover quite quickly, hopefully, and he'll just get back on where he started, where he finished for us and start for Wales.
Such a shame, though, that he could be in doubt for the Six Nations, given that he'd made such a big impression this season.
Yeah, it's disappointing for him. It's obviously making his debut for Wales and having a couple of run-outs, and he's been outstanding for us. We'll miss him through the next round of Champions Cup and Christmas period, which will be a big loss for us, but it's someone else's opportunity. So Nicky will be concentrating on his rehab and getting back up to speed as quick as he can.
So where does that leave you in terms of loose ends for the next few weeks then?
Yeah, Duncan's picked up a little bit of a bump. Obviously Ryan Beaverton's still out at the minute, but we got two young guys in Gareth Thomas and Mark Thomas who have trained really well throughout the summer. Mark's had limited opportunity at the minute in time, but he come on the weekend, and Gareth has been doing extremely well throughout training. Probably he's a little bit unfortunate he hasn't had a little bit more rugby than he already has.
Has Duncan got any chance of being fit for Europe or not?
We'll have to review that. We're waiting for the scan results and things to come back, but you know what Duncan's like, he could turn something like that around.
In other squad news then, who have you got back from international duties?
We don't quite know yet, so we've delayed naming our team, so we're just waiting out to know. I'm sure Wales have got a few bumps and bruises, so we just wait until Thursday to see who we potentially have back. We've just been training as normal. Got a couple of guys running in the slots where we potentially could get people back, but it's something we're getting prepared just in case we don't get anything.
From the other international teams as well
then? Jeff and Tyler. Jeff has picked up a bump playing for Canada, so he won't be available this weekend. Tyler will come back in around the squad. Josh is training, whether he'll feature out in Leinster is another thing, but only sort of two we've got back available to pick from this weekend.
So, after the result in Ulster, where you maybe could well have got a point out of it, what are your hopes going into the Leinster game? Yeah,
same again. It's just preparing ourselves the best we can. Obviously, missing around 23 guys doesn't really help, and you got the Irish boys get majority of their back. I'm sure they'll rest a few after what's been a tough autumn season for them as well. But no, it's prepared really well for Ulster. We were bitterly disappointed that we didn't get something out of the game. We got ourselves back into a situation where we could have snuck a victory, especially at 18-16. I thought we were the dominant team in control of some aspects of the game. But then to throw it away a little bit because we felt it was our own undoing towards the latter stage is disappointing. But you've got to take credit to the guys of how they come back from being 18-3 down at half time. They were calm, and for such a young group, and they just did consolidate. We spoke at half time. They sort of put the mistakes that we made in the first half to bed and really clawed their way back in the game. And it's bitterly disappointing that we didn't get anything, because I did feel we deserved at least a point from the game.
How strong are you expecting Leinster to be after they get some of their Ireland players back? Are you expecting them to actually play against you?
I don't know. They've like, I think years gone by, some of them they'll give a break to. I'm sure they'll give a few a break, and some of them they want to get up to speed up with Champions Cup next weekend. So look, we don't know what they're going to put out, but the only thing we can concentrate is getting ourselves prepared and get ready to go come Saturday.
Tricky little period for you, isn't it, overall?
Yeah, it is tough. It's, I think, 25% of the squad are injured, and then we got a fair few away on international duty, but it's no different to any other season. It's we're always thin, and I suppose the positive is the fact that we provide so many international players. It's disappointing that some boys have picked up injuries, but that's just the sport, and most clubs are in those situations. But the exciting thing is we're bringing young kids through. Rory Thornton come on the weekend. Mark Thomas played over a half of rugby. So we've got more boys getting experience at the highest level, and I'm sure that's going to prove us in good stead going forward.
And how do you read the Pro12 table overall at the moment? I mean, it was always going to end somewhere, the unbeaten run, but overall? Oh,
look, if you'd offered me 7 and 1 down in the first 8 games, you definitely take it. I think we've done some really good performances, and you know what I mean, going away from home, you get 1-score games and things like that. We spoke about being in a 1-score game on the weekend. We were thereabouts, and take a point away from Ulster, whereas you look at Glasgow being turned over there, some high profile teams do get turned over there. They've got a good squad, but we are bitterly disappointed that ultimately we didn't get anything from the game, especially dragging it back to 18-16 and controlling the majority of the second half. But it is, like we said, we won 7 games with a good young group, and it's something that we've just got to keep moving forward and try and get something out of the game come Saturday.
And then for Europe, same old problem of integrating Wales players back in a couple of sessions before the Champions Cup.
Yeah, it is. You just get, I suppose, you get used to it in one way. It's not perfect preparation, but it is what it is. We can't sort of moan and groan, but we just got to get on with it. It'll be just review now. Touch wood, all the boys come through the South Africa test, and probably give them a little bit of, well, a couple of days off maybe at the start of the week, because physically they need to be right, because probably coming back in the Monday ain't going to mentally recharge them. So we'll review each individual as it comes along. But in fairness, I spoke to a lot of the boys, they'll be desperate to come back and play and represent the jersey, and that's something that stands us in real good stead.
And pleased that you're playing first in the double header?
Yeah, it'll be, look, it's always going to be tough in around racing Metro, the high quality squad and prep time things, but it's something down the Liberty. We've turned Toulouse over in the past and things like that. We've run teams close, we've beaten Leicester here, so it's something that we'll be pretty confident going in. It's just making sure we get prepared, mentally refreshed, physically refreshed for some of those international boys, and make sure we are best prepared as we possibly can be.
And just a few days to get Dan Lydia's integrated into the squad.
Nice try. Yeah. Is that? Oh, you mean going? He's got to give it up. He has. He's got to give it up, but he's got to. What? Mate, Pete threw out last week, did he? Did Pete throw out last week? Was it you? No. No. Look, I think. Pete, what have you prepared me to say? No, I think when something comes out, Mark, it'll be a joint press conference or whatever it may, what it is or isn't. It'll be, I think, all the dual contracts, whatever it, whom or whoever it will be, it's going to be a joined up sort of thing.
Right. Eli Walker, is he due back this weekend?
Eli won't be fit for this weekend. He's back training with the group, but we just want to make sure he's 100% ready to go. He's up and running. He's done a couple of sessions this week, but we feel to give Eli the best chance of coming through and make sure he's back for long term. We've given him an extra week in sort of his preparations. He was asking, he wanted to be in around the group this week and come to Leinster, but it's something we feel the boys have done pretty well. Isaiah and Grabs, I thought, done particularly well last week, so it's something we don't feel the need to rush Eli back too quickly.
With Hassler, what are we talking about injury-wise?
I think it'll be an extended period of time that we'll miss Hass for, but it's something that there's a couple of things being banded round at the minute, but the physios are up and seeing the surgeons and taking scans and looking through that now, so we'll have a little bit more of an update over the next couple of days.
It's a knee injury, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a knee injury, yeah.
Yeah. Are we talking the new year?
Oh, I'd say definitely talking into the new year. It'll probably be it'll probably be a couple of months maybe into the new year,
right.
Potentially. But like I say, it could be 2 months, 5 months, but it's like at the end of the day, we just need to get the reports back now and see the time frames in around the extent of the injury.
Ryan Bevington, is there any news on him? He seems to have been out forever.
Yeah, he does. He's out forever. Look, he's frustrated, as we all are, but we know when some of the boys get these groin injuries, it takes a hell of a long time to recover. Tom Smith was out for 13 months with it. In fairness, our medical staff tried everything. We've gone to different places, different people, tried different things. Ryan's in the same boat. We thought he was going to be we'd planned on him being back this week, but he's taken a little bit of a backward step, so it'll probably push him back a little bit of time now as well.
This weekend, is this one of your toughest league fixtures of the season?
Yeah, I think it will be when you take everything in context and around like the fourth international, the injury list we've got, the boys we've got away on international duty. So, and like I say, the Irish boys potentially will have a couple back. They may choose to rest a few or whatever. But yeah, I think it's a real tough test for us. But last week was no real difference in around Ulster. It was a real tough encounter. Ulster, real top draw team. They had people like Cave and Gilroy, a lot of top end boys back there. Jackson, Marshall. So they're bringing people like Nick Williams off the bench. So look, it was a real good outfit out there, and I thought I was really proud of our boys and how they represented the jersey and how they fought and scrapped for everything. And there's a lot of positive play from us, and not particularly in the first half where we let a couple of things slip. But then I thought in round Dan Evans, Sam Davis, I thought really controlled the game in the second half, and I think Ulster found it really difficult to get out, and we sort of controlled the field and started knocking over a few penalties, picked up a try, and at 18-16 probably no one really expected us to go out there and to get anything, and possibly the scoreline be a bit bigger than what it was, but we were pretty confident going out there, and we were extremely disappointed not to pick up something out in Ulster. And I'm sure Leinster will be no different. We're preparing for a real tough battle, and we may not get anyone back potentially from international duty, but the same preparations going into it, and we've got to meet the challenge head on.
With this scrum, Steve, what was the problem in the first half of that?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. I think we didn't get it right as a team. There was no real sort of individuals or anything to pick out. I think it was like we were doing a little bit of separate things. We weren't quite where we needed to be. On the night, Ulster a decent scrum, but we were disappointed in our scrum. There's no getting away from that, and it's something that we've worked on this weekend to get right for this week.
Yeah, you must have been really pleased with the efforts of your half-backs for Wales.
Oh, look, they're standing half-backs, and the form in our league, and they've done a massive. They've been huge for us, and I thought there's really, you can see the partnership starting to rub off for Wales. I think they're getting settled into it, and hopefully they play again this weekend, and really I think they're starting to put a real claim in for that shirt to be theirs for an extended period of time.